According to Redfin, almost half, or 48% of all listings have lingered on the market for at least 60 days, the highest for any August since 2019. This marks a fifth consecutive month that homes have sat on the market for at least 60 days. Now, if you're a home seller or an investor, stay tuned and we're going to break down the current state of our housing market to help you prepare for what is ahead. First off, we've all seen a shift from a red-hot seller's market we experienced through the pandemic to now more of a balanced market and sometimes even a buyer-friendly market in certain regions of the country. Now, interest rates at the time of this video sitting around 6.5%. And the Fed recently has cut those interest rates 50 basis points, and now we're seeing a small increase in potential home buyers getting off the fence to get out and hopefully buy some homes. Now, per Housing Wire, there are 362,000 single-family homes currently under contract. Now, this has been climbing all September from 357,000 earlier in the month, and it was just under 1% increase this week, and we're showing 6% more homes in contract now than last year at this time. Now, inventory has been climbing too, and our sellers starting to list more homes since they have been sitting on the fence for the last few years. Also, we have investors in Florida and Texas that may be ready to unload some of their inventory and cut some of their losses as well. Now, speaking of Florida, an article in Tampa Bay Times says that more than 117,000 homes are owned by corporate investors. They even go on to say that firms tied to Wall Street and private equity own more than 10% of Florida's single-family rentals at this very moment. That's 5 times higher than the national average. Now, after Hurricane Helene, we may see a decline in inventory and new listings in these areas such as Florida, but also Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina. Now, home prices in many areas have stabilized, though there are some markets seeing an increase in prices still due to the inventory shortage. The national home price, according to Redfin, is around $434,050 at the end of August 2024. Now, that is still up 3.2% compared to this time last year, and there were 457,465 homes sold, and that's a 5.9% decline from last year. Now, according to Redfin, homes are also selling in less than 2 weeks in Seattle, Washington, compared to more than 9 weeks in several Florida metros. Now, desirable homes are still selling quickly, at least out here where I'm located, and it's so crazy right now that if a home is on the market more than a few weeks, buyers now just assume there's something wrong with the home. Heck, I remember back many years ago, if you had a couple showings in a month, you were doing good, but enough of that, because that just shows how old I am. Now, in an article according to Redfin, a typical home was listed for 37 days before going under contract in August 2024. And let's look at some major metro areas where homes had the fastest sales. Now, first off, Seattle, Washington, the median days on market were 12 days, but note 4 days slower than last year at this time. In Indianapolis was 16 days, but that was up 16 days. Warren, Michigan, 17 days. That's up 2 days. In San Jose, California, the median days was 18 days, up 5 days. In Oakland, 20 days, up 6 days. Detroit, 20 days, up 3 days. Boston, 20 days, up 1 day. St. Louis, 21 days, up 7. Cleveland, Ohio, median days, 21, up 4 days. And Newark, New Jersey, 21 days. Now that's down 1 day. So a little improvement on New Jersey there for you. Now, let's go on to the other side and look at the major metro areas, the slowest sales. Now, you will note that 4 of the 5 I'm about to mention are all located in Florida. Now, West Palm, Florida, spent a median 79 days on the market, and that is up 18 days from last year. Fort Lauderdale, 75 days. That's up 23 days. Jacksonville, Florida, 65 days, up 23 days. And now we have Austin, Texas, 65 days, up 11 days, and Miami, Florida, 65 days, up 11 days. And to finish it out, San Antonio, Texas, 57 days, up 12 days. Phoenix, Arizona was 55 days, up 14 days. Nashville, Tennessee, 53 days, up 8 days. Pittsburgh, 50 days, up 1. And Chicago rounds it all out at 49 days. And that's actually no change from last year. So how do you navigate in these crazy conditions if you're thinking of selling your home in this current market? I mean, let's face it, most homes now, they don't get listed and then all of a sudden sell in one day. And if you don't have a throw spaghetti on the wall and it will stick attitude, you can still get some great offers even in this housing market. First off, you must price your home right. All the price reductions that you hear about and all this so-called housing crash, you need to realize that a lot of people are listing a home way over what it should be, and they are now having to make all these price reductions. Now, the market isn't crashing yet. There is way too much equity, but you cannot get greedy or think you're going to get the same price as a few years ago. Now, you need to take your wins and price accordingly. And yeah, you may not get what you could have got a few years ago, but unless you had just bought your home in the last few years, most of you out there are still doing okay. Buyers right now, they are so price sensitive with the high cost of homes and the high rates to top it off. So you need to make sure that you hire the right agent that can price your home correctly and get your home sold fast. Now, if you need anyone in your area, my contact link is in the description below. I can set you up with someone good in your area. Now, the next thing that you need to do is have that home in move-in ready condition. Now, as real estate investors, we all want homes that are ugly and need that extensive work. But the retail buyers, they don't have the connections we do to fix those homes up. That's why as a home seller, if your home simply needs paint, and let me stress, do neutral paint colors, or if you need some landscaping. And one major thing to do, declutter your home. And by the way, I did a video recently that you can watch on how to declutter your home. This will all go a long way to attracting some offers. Now, don't forget to focus on your curb appeal as well, as that is the first thing that buyers will see when they get to your property. Now, one other thing, as a seller in this market, buyers have all types of options, and there are more properties hitting the market. So maybe consider offering incentives like pay for some closing costs or even throwing in a home warranty just to sweeten the deal. Anyway, those are just some suggestions for you as a seller and an investor to take note of to get your homes out there sold quickly. Now, I want to point out as well that as these home prices have surged and the inventory is tight, there are actually more people, and this is according to NAR, or the National Association of Realtors. In fact, 73% of people said they would consider purchasing a fixer-upper because of the lower price. Now, a majority of those respondents in this article also went on to say they'd likely spend less than $70,000 on the repairs and renovations, and 10% said they'd even be willing to spend up to $90,000. Now, cities like Cleveland have more homes in need of rehab per a front door study that was in this NAR article. And in Cleveland, for instance, the typical home is 84 years old. That's nearly twice the national median. And this front door study actually identifies these following areas to have more fixer-uppers on the market right now. Those areas are New Orleans, Albany, New York, Cleveland, Memphis, Newark, Anchorage, Alaska, Aurora, Colorado, Dover, Delaware, Detroit, and Milwaukee. Anyway, I just wanted to share that stat as I thought that was an interesting one. Now, some markets are still prime out there for rental demand too. Cities like Charlotte and Nashville, or Midwest metros like, say, Indianapolis, are all still seeing strong rental demands, while places like Los Angeles or New York are more challenging for investors right now. And speaking of regions, let's quickly cover important nuances across the country. Now, if you're in the Northeast or investing there, the demand usually tends to slow down in the winter months, so timing is key if you're out there looking to sell your home. Now, the southern states like Texas and Florida continue to attract these buyers year-round with the warmer weather and, of course, the more affordable living as well. In the West, especially places like Phoenix and Denver, there's a bit of a slowdown with the higher prices, topped with these higher interest rates that are pricing many buyers out of the market. But inventory is still very low, and there are still some good opportunities out in those areas as well. Now, markets like Florida, which have been hot due to migration, are still seeing strong demand, especially in the suburban and coastal areas. But be cautious if owning or trying to buy a condo there with all those new changes that are coming up in 2025. California, on the other hand, is more mixed right now. With the higher taxes and the higher living costs, that's pushing buyers out. But the high-end market does still remain relatively stable. So if you're looking to sell or invest in real estate, the key takeaway is each market is still changing at a rapid pace, and you need to keep your eye on things as each region has its own story. And with these higher interest rates, both sellers and investors need to be smart and strategic. I hope you found this video helpful, and if so, please hit the like button and share this with others. And also, if you need a connection to help you buy or sell, or maybe you just have questions on the current housing market in general, my contact information's down below. I'm David Novak, and we'll see you next time.